Forgive me, Toby, for I am about to steal your opening line. Greetings, Pokemon Masters, and welcome to a new type of video for the Chantress Podcast channel. Yeah, that's right, we're branching into like a wider variety of content because we didn't want to just shove it all into screen time. And you know, what better way to kind of test pilot this out than talking about a topic that Tony and I both love, which is, of course, the wonderful world of Pokemon.
Yeah, it's not the first time we've done anything like this before. It's been a while.
Oh yeah,
Jay
yeah.
and I talked out.
Fate Strange Fake, which is still in limbo. Like we didn't forget about the series, you guys. Fucking Aniplex and Type Moon forgot about the series.
They're trying to make this like an annual release, which is insane to me.
So like, if you guys are wondering, hey, the last time we saw you was Strange Fake. Yeah, that's because that was the last time Strange Fake came out. We haven't forgotten.
Aniplex is just on some madness with that. But anywho, like Jay mentioned, we're going to talk about the wonderful world of Pokemon, specifically Pokemon Legends ZA.
Yeah, so this is going to be like a free-form discussion / review. So it is going to be, you know, on the longer side, definitely over 20 minutes. So, you know, grab a snack, grab a drink, get ready to listen to them yapping. It's not going to be full pod length, but we're definitely going to yap a lot.
Yeah, we are.
And we are going to get into spoilers. I'm not even going to try to do a spoiler-free section. I'm just going to say right off bat, we're just going to talk spoilers straight up. The game has been out a few weeks. So, you know, if you care about spoilers or haven't played yet, you know, definitely put this in your watch later and check it out once you've played the game. But before you go, one, leave a like on this video and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We have plenty of more content coming out soon, including our usual podcast stuff. If you aren't familiar with our podcast, we usually cover various movies and TV shows and do in-depth discussions and reviews with our good friend Brian, who is not here because Brian has not played the game yet, so he didn't want to just sit in the corner and listen to us yap as he usually does. But yeah, so before you go, what I want to say, like, without actually like diving into discussion, get the game, yeah. You guys. Like, if you are a Pokemon fan, if you're a casual and you know you like Pokemon, but you know you aren't into the games, fine, skip it. That's cool. But if you actually do enjoy Pokemon, like hardcore enjoy Pokemon, and like have gotten every single game, don't break your streak now. This game is fun. You know, if you want us to just sum up like the short and sweet of it, this game is fun and very enjoyable. Like, I know it has had mixed reviews all throughout its life cycle. Even though like its life cycle has only really begun. Don't let that deter you. The game is fun. It has some of the best story Game Freak has put out in a while. Game Freak has been on a real streak. You know, Tony and I have been very much boosters of Scarlet and Violet, at least on the story side. On the actual gameplay and graphic side, I hate it. I think Scarlet and Violet was a terrible release. Like, but story-wise, really holds up.
Yeah, it was playing on an engine. Well, playing on a machine that was too weak for its own good. You know.
Yep.
Like the original Switch tried. And by the way, this game does play relatively smoothly on the Switch 1 as well. So
yeah, we will be talking from both a Switch 1 and Switch 2 perspective, because Tony has it on the Switch 1, I have it on the Switch 2. So we will talk about that as well. So we will compare differences. But yeah, if you guys care about spoilers and you want to dip out now, feel free. I just want to say the game is great. Is it perfect? Hell no. I think there's still a lot that could be improved, and we will talk about a lot of our complaints in the spoiler section because most of those are spoilers. But I think overall the game, it's a great time, and I think it is actually an improvement over Arceus in a lot of ways. What those ways are, again, we have to go more in depth, so you know, come back and you'll find out. But if you care about spoilers and you know want to experience the game fully blind for yourself, I totally respect that, and you know, enjoy. Okay.
But for everyone getting into that spoiler stuff, let's us talk about this particular story. So, since we're both very wordy motherfuckers, Jay, give the folks at home an idea of the overall story of Legends ZA.
Okay, so I find it really funny that our last duo H2O review for the channel was a Fate-related, topic slash show. Because how I describe this game to everybody now is just Pokemon Holy Grail War. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Fate, Fate has a concept known as the Holy Grail War, where a group of masters and servants have a battle royale to basically obtain a magical item and get a wish granted by said magical item. In this game, you are a tourist exploring the wonderful city of Lumios in the Kalos region, and through other shenanigans, you get roped into what is called the ZA Royale, where you are essentially taking a part in a citywide battle royale that only takes place at night, hey, much like in a Holy Grail War, and you are competing to get a wish.
That is not mystical in any way at first.
Yeah.
It's just your corporation's basically saying, hey, we're redeveloping the city, we're gonna have some fun.
We'll grant your wish within reason. Like, because, they're, a bajillion-dollar corporation. They could probably do a lot, but, they can't end world hunger or some shit.
Yeah. For those who want to do lofty goals that are beyond a corporation, well, some corporations.
Sorry, Shiro, you can't. I don't think you'd want to participate in the ZA Royale. Your wish would not be granted.
Nope, not at all. But then we get to crazier shenanigans when it turns out the Royale was for defending Lumios from crazy shenanigans by a 3,000-year-old man.
And guess what, folks? This right here is a direct sequel. That's right. We haven't done this since Black 2 and White 2. This is effectively Pokemon Z. This is a legit direct sequel, which is super rare for Pokemon. And we do get answers. We do get developments within the city. And we get a lot of closure on important character arcs from X and Y. Now, X and Y are by no means my favorite games of the DS era. In fact, they are probably the weakest games of the 3DS era, in my opinion. But there was a lot of potential there that was very much squandered, which is why they're probably the weakest games of the 3DS era, for me at least. I don't know about Tony's opinion. Because, afterwards, I think the Gen 7 games, Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, were great. Those games are awesome. But yeah, 6 was a big dip, especially with the high that was Gen 5, in my opinion. I'm not one of those late adopters of Gen 5 either, y'all. I actually was one of those people who was like, Gen 5 is really fucking cool.
Yeah, I had my love of Pokemon rejuvenated in X and Y, but when I went back to actually play Gen 5 a bit, I actually really enjoyed Unova as a region. Mm-hmm. I don't see what all the hate was.
No, I like Gen 5 while everybody was so afraid of change. I thought Gen 5 was awesome, especially from a story standpoint, which is why I think I was disappointed in X and Y when X and Y first came out, was because the story is very meh.
Yeah, it's a very bare bones story. I mean, given the fact that it was the first Pokemon
3D game, yeah,
original, they had to start relatively small.
Yeah, and I mean, and also like I said, there's a lot of potential in the story that I do feel like ZA realizes, especially in regards to AZ and Team Flare / Lysander. Which, by the way, of course, our man AZ, the tallest man in the Pokemon universe, is still lumbering around. He is the proprietor of Hotel Z.
Yep, just a big man running a business.
Naveen must have to use a lot of fabric to make his clothes. He is huge.
I mean, given one point before the game officially ends, Naveen had to get his measurements just so events of the story happen. Where
he's got to be at least a 10-foot character. He's One Piece character size. Dude's fucking massive.
I mean, I think he'd be a bit bigger than some One Piece characters. I mean, you're more the expert on it than I am.
Well, I mean, One Piece characters have really weird proportions, obviously, and there are some One Piece characters that are human that are canonically 10 feet tall, 8 feet tall, 8, 9 feet tall.
Big as shit.
Yeah, Big Mom and Whitebeard, fucking huge and apparently human. Don't believe it, but sure, I guess. Luffy's grandpa is also huge. But yeah, so we end up, you know, meeting when we first get off the station, our friend rival Tawny and or Bane, depending on what gender you select for your player character. But we're gonna refer to her as Tawny because we both played as male characters, just to make it easier. But one thing I will say, a complaint that I've always had about Pokemon games ever since I would actually say Gen 6 is the friendly rival dynamic.
Oh yeah.
But this game does fix that, because there is somebody that I can't stand in this game where I'm just like, oh yeah, I want to beat your ass specifically. And it's not even that like they are a mean or bad character. It's more so that like you are a menace that needs to be put down. Let me calm your ass down by beating you in a battle. But we'll get to the characters later. But I like Tawny. I think Tawny is a very sweet character. She definitely has shades of Serena, which is why like you get like a little bit of a romantic kind of sense from her. Like I know a lot of people are saying that, no, she just wants to be your friend. I'm like, no, I definitely feel like she's flirting. She's flirting a lot.
Yeah, I think the character trait for all of them is like, hey, I want to be a bit of a flirty flirt.
I mean, come on, it's France. It's Paris. This is a city of love. I think they did that on purpose.
Oh yeah, and plus...
And also, remember Shauna? You guys remember Shauna? We had that whole moment with the fireworks. Come on, you guys.
I remember it. I remember that like it was yesterday. But
I played X and Y like 2 weeks ago, so it is very fresh in my head.
But the funny thing to me, at least, is some of it is also trying to like sell Hotel Z.
Yeah.
I mean, why not go to this hotel? It's rustic as fuck.
It's a really nice hotel. See, that is the one thing I don't buy about the premise. What do you mean nobody's coming to this hotel? It's a very nice hotel.
Yeah, rustic.
It's got really good decor. It's not like it's dilapidated. Like, what do you mean nobody wants to come here?
Everyone's just acting crazy.
Like, it's also not out of the way either, because it's very close to the station. So actually, it has a pretty fucking good location.
Yeah, I think it's just not doing so is because maybe Bane are not selling the hotel.
I mean, AZ is a very quiet guy, so I don't think he seems like the advertising type. So that does make sense. But like, you know, Tawny seems like a pretty popular person within the city. So like, I feel like more people would know about the hotel, right? You know what I mean? Because like, yeah. she even when we first meet her, she has a reputation. Like when the motherfucker steals our when the motherfucking Pancham steals our bag, and then we like, you know, run into their trainer. The trainer's like, oh shit, you're Tawny. It's like, okay, so you know Tawny. So clearly people are aware.
Because Tawny just beat the out-of-the piss out of them in the ZA Royale. Beat them so bad that Tawny didn't even remember that.
Yeah, that was disrespectful, but also a nice flex. She pulled a Thanos. Just, I don't even know who you are.
Like, I don't even like. Did I do that?
But so let's go ahead and talk about like one of the biggest strengths of the game. I want to start with, of course, talking about positives, and then we'll talk about our complaints as we go. But one of the biggest strengths of this game is its world and its characters.
Absolutely.
I don't know about you, but Lumios was my favorite location in all of Kalos.
Well, since it is like the capital city of the region, and given the fact that it's like the largest city that Pokemon's ever had at that time, that is three-dimensional.
Plus,
I would have to say, yeah, even though I love Lumios, it's a good city. It's not one of my favorite locations in all of Kalos. I give that title to Wolfric's Gym City.
Oh, the ice place? Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. See, I spent a lot of time in Lumios back when I used to play X and Y, because the prism tower is like the perfect place to hatch eggs, because you could just constantly like do laps around it, and you know, you hatch Pokemon in no time. And like Gen 6 was when I first got into competitive battling, so I did a lot of breeding back in the day. So like, you know, I have a fondness for the place. And Lumios in itself is a very interesting character because it's going through a lot of dynamic changes as the game progresses. And you know, one of the concerns a lot of people had when the game was first announced is like, you know, everyone everybody was hyped at first. It's like, we thought, oh, it's it's a a Kalos region based game, like how Arceus was a ancient Sinnoh based game. But this is future / current Kalos. Okay, cool. I can't wait to see like Geosen's Town and all those other places that we loved from Kalos. Oh, it's just Lumios. Oh, that kind of sucks. We're only limited to one city. But honestly, again, the initial concern was valid for sure, because like one city does seem like a small bot, but the city is packed with tons of character, because the whole concept of urban redevelopment that is introduced, which by the way is a huge fact, is a huge aspect of the history of the city of Paris itself, which obviously Lumios is a direct analog for in the Pokemon world. Paris has been destroyed and rebuilt at least 4 times through the various revolutions.
Yeah, and even in the world of Pokemon, the urban redevelopment is for what happened 5 years ago. Even though a lot of the impact happened in a different town,
I did think it was kind of weird, because I was like, wait a second, because I didn't think about it until I played X and Y, and I was like, wait. The epicenter happened in Geosen's Town. Shouldn't Geosen's Town be fucked up?
Which it was, and it's safe to assume it was rebuilt in that same time too.
Yeah.
The effects of the ultimate weapon added on to compound issues throughout the course of, throughout the entirety of Kalos. And with Lumios being a major city, they did the best they could to circumvent any issues that might happen. They brainstormed.
And the other thing that I like is that the Legends games have kind of established a unifying theme in terms of what unites the games. Both Legends Arceus and Legends ZA have a theme of harmony, right, between people and Pokemon, which yes, has always been a thing within Pokemon itself, the core games, but Arceus explored it from the early onset of people's interactions with Pokemon within Ancient Hisui, and the ZA explores the relationship between people and Pokemon within a modern context. How do Pokemon adapt to cities? Where are they supposed to go when their environments are developed over for the progress of man? And there's also a really interesting political undercurrent within the city that I think not too many people talk about. It establishes the ZA Royale, and how Quizartico has kind of set things up, has essentially made how would I describe? I guess technically the right word for it would technically be a meritocracy, because it's all based off of your own personal skill and talent as a trainer, that both determines your social status, rank, and it is literally reflected in the mechanics how much money you make, because once you hit those higher ranks, you definitely aren't strapped for cash anymore when you need to buy more healing items or Pokeballs and stuff. I used to in the early game, I was always broke because I was buying clothes, but now I'm swimming in money.
Yeah, you get people just put through the wood chipper in terms of just battling them consistently, whipping their asses.
But yeah, so back to characters. I think it is really the biggest strength of this game. The character writing. Like I said, Tawny is a very sweet and strong character, and I think she makes a very good deuteragonist alongside the player character.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
She's also not just flat happy, which was my big complaint with Hao. I love the kid, but Hao was just very one note. Tawny has clearly been through some stuff. Now, does she spill an entire tragic crybaby backstory? No, but she didn't need to. Yeah, you can tell that she's been through a lot, and because of all the trauma she's been through, the people that do take a chance on her, she really cares about, which is why she really goes out of her way to stick her neck out for AZ and the rest of Team MZ, which I think think makes her a very interesting and compelling character.
Oh, I agree with that. And the fact that in the post game, you learn that her mom worked on
Holotech.
the holotech that was used by Lysander and Team Flare. And
So it was originally developed for Quasartico, but then she disagreed with her mother and then left Quasartico and then started working for Team Flare.
Yep, and then got so burnt out that she had to move to a faraway region to recover.
Which I'm betting we will meet her in the next game.
Which I'm 100% agreeing with you on that, because the Pokemon Company and Game Freak aren't slick. They
always do this, right? Like the fact that we had hints for Galar in the games before. I forget which game came before Sword and Shield.
Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
Well, Ultra Moon.
Yeah. There were hints at Galar in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. It wasn't in the first Sun and Moon, but it was definitely in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. And I think Tawny's mom is the hint for whatever is to come in Wind and Wave.
Yep, I agree with that. And the fact that she takes on the role of CEO for Quasartico when Jet retires, which Jet's her grandma.
Which is a big step, and it also shows a lot of the character growth for Tawny, because Tawny throughout the game is very much reliant on other people to bail her out, and she is very bad at taking accountability at first.
Oh my god, yes.
Which is, was definitely a frustrating part of her character. But again, it made her a much more fleshed out and real character. She wasn't perfect. But to see at the end, after she's gone through all this stuff, the climactic battle, losing AZ, and finding her family, getting her wish granted, funny enough, she finally decides to woman up and step up to the plate, because she's like, oh no, I do love this city, and I think working as CEO might be the best way for me to actually be able to protect Lumiose, so I'll do it.
And so the way we should frame it is all of Team MZ barring AZ, because I want to save that man for last, because that man's story, oh my god. So Tawny showed real growth as a character throughout the course of this story. She just became one of the most three-dimensional rival characters we've ever had in Pokemon in a very long time.
The only character from Team MZ that I feel was weak, in my opinion, even though I love the character's personality, I wish we could have spent more time with them in order to flesh them out more, was Lita. I think Lita's a cool character, but compared to Naveen and Tawny, who we get a lot more time with, and again, a lot more of them fleshed out, Lita is definitely the weakest character writing-wise.
Oh yeah, she is. The only thing that we know about her is that she likes to dance, she has a dance scholarship, and she's just helping out at the hotel.
And she is Tierno's younger sister.
Yeah, that's it about our girl Lita.
To be fair, Tierno was also kind of a meh character too, but the entire friend group besides Shauna and X and Y was all kind of meh. So
Serena, if you played as a male character,
those
two were the only ones that had any lasting impact on you as a character.
Which, fun fact, for my recent playthrough of X and Y I did a couple weeks ago, I did not play as a male character because female characters get better drip, so I went with a female character.
But that is circumvented in this game.
Oh yeah. We'll get to that. We'll get to that for sure. That's definitely one of the other positives. But yeah. Now let's go ahead and talk about Naveen. Naveen's a character that I really like. I really like Naveen.
I like this man. You know what's funny? And you'll get this. Naveen acts like our friend Jordan.
He does. That's why I fuck with him.
Yeah.
No, because I didn't understand that. I watched other before I got the game myself, because I got it later than everybody than most people. I didn't get it day one as I usually do with Pokemon games, because I had to also buy a Switch too, so I had to save up. But I was watching other people's streams and other people's initial reactions and playthroughs, and everybody was like, "Oh, I don't like Naveen." I play the game and I'm like, "Have y'all not had an introvert friend before?" Naveen's alright.
It's okay, you want to win. Got the I had that time this is just Jordan as a Pokemon character and really into fashion. Was when Naveen was like trying to like calm himself down and rationalize when it was like the Mega Binette.
Yep.
Like, that's Jordan behavior, right?
Oh yeah,
there.
that is definitely Jordan behavior. And also, like, I also think Naveen is very valid in his opinions. I think
absolutely.
croissant curry looks nasty. I would not want that. I'll be honest with you, Tani. Like, cause like it looks like a turd.
Yes, it does.
It looks like a pile of shit on bread.
Yeah, man. Why? Why are you doing this to us? Why would you want to assault our taste buds like that, man?
Like, in theory, right? In theory, not to get on too much of a food tangent, but in theory, eating bread with curry sounds perfectly fine. But combining, like, even putting curry in a sandwich, I could totally get. But, like, the way it's presented through Tani's croissant curry, that does not look appetizing at all. I'm like, can I get my own food? Can I cook something myself?
Yeah, that's just an insult to not only Colossian food, but the Galarian food staple too, apparently.
That wasn't so. Also, I don't. So in my head, I always gave Tanya a Galarian accent because I just assumed she was Galarian because Jet looks very posh. She also, and then like, you know, she's like a big into curry, which I'm like, oh yeah, that's a Galar thing. I definitely think she's from Galar.
Not if some people are thinking that both Jet and Tani, and their brain to an extent too, they have more similarities with Irida from.
Okay, but here's my thing, right? And I watched a hybrid. I watched a hybrid hero video, and I think it makes a lot of sense. Remember, Irida's whole deal was that she wanted her and her clan to explore outside of Hisui.
That is true. Yeah.
So I think that they just went all the way out to Galar. And remember, Lavington is from Galar. So Irida, and by extension her later descendants and family, would be aware of the Galar region.
Or from there to a degree. Yeah, I agree with that. But Naveen is like, he's straight up close. Like,
oh yeah,
from Lumio.
He's that's another thing. I was like, he's just a French boy. Like, yeah. Oh, it's like people were like hating on him, like, oh my god, he's so pretentious. I'm like, yeah, he's French.
And into like high fashion, man. The hell you mean?
Like, he's a really fun character. I also love that he has an Oshi.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. Speaking of,
and also he is a normal VTuber fan. You know, as somebody who engages within the VTuber space, as a VTuber myself, and as a fan of VTubers, like, I totally agree with Naveen. There are your normal VTuber fans who enjoy VTuber content, but can still go about their day and be regular people. And then there are people like Glasses, motherfucker.
Manny. His name is Manny.
Manny the Reddit mod, because that man looks like a fucking Reddit mod.
That he is. He is such a hokey Reddit mod. That is so funny.
He, like, just the way he talks and the fucking superiority. It pissed me off because it was realistic. Because as somebody who frequently interacts within the VTuber space, VTuber fans are very much like this.
Yeah, and bro, that man was cringe as fuck.
Also, the fact that old man Tarragon is technically a VTuber is fucking wild.
Posing as his granddaughter because his granddaughter doesn't give a fuck about.
She just cares about hardcore gaming. She'll stream herself gaming, but she doesn't give a fuck about. It's not that she doesn't give a fuck about her fans. She just doesn't care about going to fan events and fan interactions. Which, again, as a VTuber and as someone who knows several VTubers, and some VTubers are actually pretty prominent, a lot of VTubers don't like going to events.
Yeah, it's like mood. We don't want, in fact, being friends with some of them, we just know that those motherfuckers don't want to move anywhere.
Yep.
They don't want to.
Yep. They just want to either do their art or play their games and then talk to chat.
Or do a combination of all those things.
Yep.
Like, but I have nothing but mad respect for Tarragon.
I made fun of Tarragon because Tarragon is an enabler.
That he is.
He's an enabler, but I still think at the end of the day he's a good grandparent. I do want to know what's so tragic about her getting a laptop.
Probably because
is the laptop from her dead parents, or like I know she got it from Tarragon, but like, did it previously belong to her dead parents?
I think it belonged to her parents. It's like Tarragon, I think, tried his best to ease the pain of her loss, gave her
the laptop so that she could have a distraction and something to keep. Okay, that makes sense. Again, nice subtle storytelling from Pokemon. I dig that. Also, I just really like Kanari as a person, and I hate that people are just calling her like a Diet Iono or like, you know, an Iono clone, because they are two different. And what I like about both of them is they are two different types of streamers, right?
Yeah.
There is your actual like iGame streamer, right? Which you know, those are out there. There are people that are actually really good at the games they play and take pride in that and the competitive aspect, and obviously are still good at interacting with chat. But then you have your streamers like myself who are, you know, okay and terrible at most video games, but the value from the said streamer comes from personality, showmanship, and entertainment, which is where Iono comes in.
Oh yeah, and that's just, there's two categories: the folks who lock in and the folks who yap.
I am definitely a yapper, although I am known to lock in, especially when it comes to Pokemon. I can lock in Pokemon. God damn it.
Yeah, that much is true. But and having the two electric type specialists being streamers is just,
I mean, it's very fitting. Also,
and,
like, y'all need to relax about this whole this is more a shot at the fandom than like the game itself. Y'all need to relax with these complaints about sexualization. Like,
yeah, let a character in Pokemon that clearly an adult be very attractive. Come on, man.
like, let her dress how she wants to dress. Like, what the fuck is your problem? It's not like she's like out here naked. She's in a crop top. Oh,
yeah.
Showing tummy. How scandalous. What?
Yeah, how scandalous. And also the fact that her Mega Stone, like the keystone, is on the zipper of the zip up part of her. Lord forbid.
Like, maybe she just likes to dress that way. It's okay. Like, you guys don't have to make it weird. Putting so much attention to it is what makes it weird. Like, we've had trainers dressed like this. You guys not remember Skyla?
Yeah.
There's Skyla. There's Nessa. You know, they're just very pretty poke girls who like to, you know, dress somewhat scantily clad. But even so, I wouldn't even say scantily clad. Like, that's not like Kanari is very well dressed, but she's not like showing everything.
Yeah, if Puritans, I swear.
Like, y'all are blowing it way out of proportion, and like y'all saying, oh, it's a kid's game. Is it really though? Is it really? Because like I'll be real with you. I don't think kids play the Pokemon games. I think kids collect the Pokemon cards. They don't play the game. We are the generation that grew up on the games and stuck with the games. I don't think the kids play the games, at least as far as the West goes. I know it's still very popular among children in Japan.
But international audiences, we don't know for sure.
That's fair.
But we could say from our personal experiences as Pokemon fans, lifelong Pokemon fans, we play the games because it's nostalgic for us. We have fun with it, and we have some related merch that's connected to the Pokemon company, TCG or otherwise.
They can always get me with a plushie. I have a plushie problem.
That is true. Plushies are like so cute and comfortable to just hold.
But
anywho, let's get to the next set of trainers that you fight after. We didn't even talk about the man Vinny.
Oh yeah, we finished talking about Naveen. We talked about Lita. But I think next we should talk about this group of trainers that essentially serve as our gym leaders.
Yeah, since we already talked about Tarragon and
Kanari. Yeah, we can. Oh, and so another thing I want to talk about. I know there are some people that complained about the repeat battles, but I actually enjoyed them. It's not because like they were more difficult or anything, but I also liked the character progression that you see within the battles. You know, like Kanari, when she first battles you, is just kind of like whatever, but you slowly see her spirit reignite as she battles you more and more, and I really like that. Like, it shows character development.
Yeah, and fighting Kanari, she, like, you beating her ass lights a fire underneath her where she's like, oh,
it's on.
Beat me.
Yeah, the competitive spirit. And as somebody who is very competitive, like, I respect that. I respect the fuck out of that.
All right.
But all right, next, I know know you want to talk about Vinny, but since we talked about Canary, I want to talk about her best bud first. Like, the character that I sympathize with the most.
Let's talk about the big Russian boy and his little sister,
who I feel so much for. All right, so
like, yeah, given the fact that she's related to the Hulk.
Also, I don't know about you, but like in my head, Ivor speaks with Dolph Lundgren's voice.
Yes, exactly.
Like Ivan Drago ass bitch.
Yes. Ivor is that man's name.
Yeah, I know his name is Ivor, but yeah, I always gave Ivor a Dolph Lundgren voice in my head. Which, side note, I will totally agree with this one constant complaint I hear with the fandom. Pokemon Game Freak, give your game voice acting.
Yeah,
get with the times.
If you don't want to do it for the protagonist because they're the silent protagonist,
that's fine. Give the NPCs voices. Zelda's done it now. You have no excuse.
Yeah, you can easily just ship in a bit of voice acting here.
And I'm not saying you have to give every like the rando NPCs on the street voices. Give the named NPCs voices for their cutscenes. You don't even have to give them voice acting for when you're just chatting with them. You could just put text. That's fine. But in the cutscenes, it's very immersion breaking when you're seeing a cutscene and like you see the mounts moving, but text. Now, I'm an actor myself, and I fancy myself a bit of a voice actor, so I do enjoy voicing the characters myself. But I also acknowledge I'm not a fucking voice actor. Get some real voice actors in this bitch.
Yeah, because
like I hate that we always have to wait for the anime to hear what people sound like.
Or in Pokemon Masters.
Yeah. Which, what the fuck? Why does Pokemon Masters have voice acting? And the regular Pokemon games don't.
It's a MOBA. It's a gacha game.
It does make lots and lots of money. But still, come on, Game Freak. Give these people voices. I also, if you do end up giving people voices, get voice actors with a regional accent.
Do it. Please.
Like, I wanted to hear some ohs, man. Like,
I need to see French.
Like skinny fancy cigarettes and all that shit. But yeah. Ivor.
To this dumb bastard.
He's so stupid. I could not stand him. He was the character, which also just kind of a fun fact for me. Like, I've realized now that I have become the asshole rival in these playthroughs because I will actively choose the cocky dialogue. I especially did that for this game. I always chose the "I will crush you" type option when talking shit to people.
When it came to Ivor, he only understood one language to me.
The language of violence. Yep.
That was with hand. So I was like, I'm gonna match his energy. I'm gonna beat his ass.
Yeah, no.
So since we probably should mention it, each of the main gym leader-esque trainers, they get new Mega Evolution.
They do.
Paragon Excadrill, Canary got Mega
Electros. Yep. Ivor got Mega Phalanx, which, by the way, Mega Excadrill is amazing. I love Mega Excadrill. I've had one on my core team for a while. First it was Fergus, the male Excadrill, but then I found a female Alpha Excadrill, and I was like, oh, bye, Fergus. Hello, Bradamante.
Yeah. Oh, Lord. But the Mega Phalanx, love these little goobers just becoming a man.
Yeah, they just became a Megazord, and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, and it was telegraphed, by the way, with these sachet on Ivor.
Yep. Which I wish we also got custom backpacks like that. I want to.
Yeah. I mean, there are some, but they're just kind of lame looking.
Yeah. No. Like, I was so jealous. Like, you know, to go back a game, I was so jealous that I could not get Penny's Eevee backpack. I was like, I would totally get that for my character. But yeah.
It kind of makes sense with his type specialty of choice, which is fighting, where he is dumb.
He reminds me of the manga version of Bruno.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you guys have ever read the Pokemon Adventures manga. For those of you guys who haven't, Bruno literally boxes with Pokemon. Like, he spars with his Onix and shit in the manga. It's wild. Man's on some otherworldly shit.
Ivor's wish is to basically just tear down the Wild Zone so he could throw his Pokemon.
Yeah, and he always gets in trouble because, you know, you're supposed to, the battle zone and the Zero Royale deactivate at night, and he still wants to fight even at daybreak, and it's like, bro, chill, we're done, calm down.
And the city just hates this man so much.
Yep, he's a menace. And poor Gwen, let's talk about Gwen. This poor girl has to deal with her brother's bullshit and just the embarrassment and shame that he has brought onto their family.
Mm-hmm. And she's like, I want to leave, I want to get out of this for a little while. I'm like, girl, same.
I just want some alone time. Just leave me the fuck alone for like 2 seconds.
And Mans is so dumb and too strong for his own good to have his own phone. What?
He also thought that he also immediately jumps to the conclusion that his sister got kidnapped instead of, I don't know, maybe she just wants to get the fuck away from me.
Man cannot. It's not like that one MCU Drax moment where if something flies over my head, I'll just catch it.
Yeah, no, it was, yeah. But man, like, I also, like, you know, through Ivor and Gwen's story, we also got a great character moment from Kanari, because we find out Gwen and Kanari are, like, really good buds, because it turns out, like, that Gwen is essentially, like, Kanari's equivalent of our friend Seto. So, to give people context, I stream on Twitch, and Seto was one of my, like, original, like, regulars that came around on stream all the time, and we eventually, because he just hung out with us in chat all the time, we eventually just became friends. And that's kind of what happened. That's what happened with Kanari and Gwen, or who she refers to as G-Volt.
Which, that's adorable.
Mm-hmm. And like, I love her just sticking up for her friend. It's just like, leave her the fuck alone. You need to stop, you big dummy.
Oh, it's like, oh my god.
Thank you. Finally, somebody said it besides me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what I find the most interesting with Gwen is she chose ghost types as her type specialty.
Mm-hmm. Which, mad respect. As someone who loves ghost types, I got mad respect for that.
Yeah, and her team's actually pretty solid too.
And she has one of the coolest megas with Mega Chandelure. I've always loved Chandelure. Chandelure is one of my favorite Pokemon from Gen 6.
It's a Gen 5 mon.
It is a Gen 5 mon. Oh yeah, I associate it with Gen 6 because I always named my Chandelure Lumiere. Well, Litwick, obviously, but yeah, it was always Lumiere. So I always associate whatchamacallit, that line with being French.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong, but they made their debut in the Pokemon world in Poke New York.
Also, I love that Chandelure's Mega is a clear homage to one of the greatest stage props of all time. Mm-hmm. The big fuck off breakable chandelier in Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom of the Opera.
For Phantom.
Yep. Because if you've ever seen that shit live, that thing is fucking huge.
Yeah, and the craziest thing about that particular Pokemon, like when Chandelure Mega evolves, one of its eyes are closed.
Yep.
Gate to the afterlife.
I think that's pretty awesome. But yeah, I really like that. And again, the fact that the quote unquote gym leaders have like these little histories and friendships, I think is really cool. Which is something that I really enjoyed from the Scarlet and Violet, League members as well. Like Larry and Poppy's little friendship, which I thought was the cutest thing ever. For example, I love when Pokemon games do this, where like the world feels more fleshed out and lived in because these characters know each other, especially because this is focused on one city. So yeah, of course they know everybody knows everybody within the higher ranks.
Yeah, and also there are types, like each of our individual characters have types that are immune to the other. Mm-hmm. Like Ground's immune to electric, Ghost is immune to fighting, and Steel is immune to poison, which will lead into Felipe and Corbeau.
I love these two. So at first, you come across them, they seem like, oh shit, it's the mob,
Yeah.
But I like the twist that they're not just the mob, but they're also not heroes either. Because they've admitted, oh no, we've done some shit that's might not be above board for sure, but like we use those means that we might have gotten from those ill-gotten gains and actually give back to the community. They're more like the they're more like Yakuza. If you know how at least old school traditional Yakuza work, they are definitely your shady criminal types, but they also very much care about their community and focus on funneling and giving back to said community.
Yeah.
So
and then
they're very much like old school Yakuza, which, if theories are to be believed, and Corbo is originally from Kitakami and is the father of Kirin and Carmine, then makes sense that he's, a Yakuza.
But Felipe said, like, when he was talking to us throughout that portion of the story, or at some point in the story, where he just acted like he can just scrap with us until he did.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, Felipe is a wide body motherfucker with a mastery over steel types.
He is a big bitch. He's like a brick shithouse version of Zerosic.
Which there's like this other theory that he might be either related to Zerosic or Zerosic himself.
Yeah.
Which that's interesting.
Like, but I don't think he's Zerosic himself because he has childhood memories of being helped by Lysander. So, like, that one's out the window. I think he might be Zerosic's kid.
Yeah, definitely related to Zerosic in some way.
Which also makes me wonder, like, has he interacted? Because we haven't seen him interact with Emma at all.
That's true.
And
we have not seen.
And Emma was kind of a surrogate daughter / guinea pig for Zerosic, so that would be very interesting to interact.
But I like the fact that Felipe uses steel types, and that a lot of his personality, he comes off cold, but he's just like,
he's a big old teddy bear. Teddy bear. It's a classic gentle giant. I also love that Corbo is just him because apparently, as a child, he was able to take down an entire gang with a venipede.
Like I said, I was mentioning that he
not a whirlipede or a scullipede, mind you, a venipede.
Yeah, tough guy. He was tough.
He's him.
Yeah, and like, you gotta give mad respect. And
also, I will give extra points because Short King supremacy. You love to see it.
Absolutely. Gotta give mad props to the Short Kings out there, as Short Kings ourselves.
Yep, and he he has the most immaculate trip in the entire game.
No, the Rust Syndicate themselves.
I was so upset. Look, I wanted to join them so bad. Like, I legit clicked it when he was like, "Hey, would you consider joining us?" I'm like, "Yes, give me a uniform now, please."
But he's like, nah.
You gotta stick with your crew. I do appreciate that, but you gotta stick with your crew. I'm like, damn it.
But the craziest thing about Felipe has Mega Skirmery, and our boy Corbo has Mega Scolipede.
Yep.
But you know what's so cool about Corbo's team? He has a Gyarados.
He does. That Gyarados gave me a lot of fucking trouble. I'm not gonna lie to you, because I had nothing on my team at the time that could that counter the Mega Gyarados. I lost once, and then I was like, wait a second. I gotta find something. And then I switched my loadout, and I changed my ground moves out for rock moves on my Excadrill, on my Mega Excadrill, and then I was able to beat him.
And you know what's the coolest thing? And it follows gym leader designs that I'm really thinking about it. Each of our focus characters within this part of the story have elements of their type specialty in their design.
Yep.
Some of them is pretty uniform. Like Tarragon, he masters ground types. He works in construction. Easy.
Yep.
Canary Dreamer, so it's like a lot of yellows and like brighter colors.
And yeah, it matches her branding. Yeah, exactly.
And then you have the Fists of Justice, that being Ivor and Gwen. Ivor is a martial artist through and through.
Yep.
And opposing that is Gwen being more of a spiritualist. And I like that both elements are in the like grunt, for lack of a better word.
And spiritualism is a big part of martial arts, so like it's not out of place for her to still be part of the Fist of Justice and be a ghost type special.
Yeah, and then we get to the Rust Syndicate, where Felipe has like a chainmail like shirt. He has staples on the back of his suit jacket, and then Corbo has strips of poison off of his clothing.
Yep.
Which I like those design elements.
Again, a lot of details, a lot of smaller details of character design, and just a lot of character work just in the designs alone. But they have such great personalities as well. Corbo, like, being slick with how the handling of Tawny's debt. I thought that was just such a nice touch. Like his plan of like, all right, stay at the hotel. Like, all right, who handled housekeeping? It was me. Oh, cool, kid. Here you go. Here's your tip. And and on cue. Tani, we need you to pay your debt now. Well, it just so happens I got a big tip recently. Here you go. Cool.
And then we're down to like the coolest folks, and only half of this duo I actually do like.
I love Leban, or
Leban.
Leban is the shit. I love her, and also, again, more subtle storytelling. She is Ivor's worst nightmare, and apparently Ivor's bully, who scared the shit out of him back when she was like a rough and tumble biker delinquent.
Yeah, that girl just wants to beat the shit off people. Like, she throws hands.
But
And
also, it's gotta show how fucking scary Jason must be.
Yeah.
Because, like, yeah, Jason is a hard counter to, obviously, Leban's dragon type specialty. But she also has just an unsettling presence about her. She reminds me, to use Fate comparisons, she reminds me of Iliasville. Like visual novel Iliasville.
Yeah, and on top of that, Descent is a worse Nimona.
She
like,
is
in terms of
well,
her obsession.
Oh yeah. She is definitely way more invasive than Nimona. Nimona will at least like ask you nicely. She's
The crazy thing, well, it's not too crazy, but Descent's battle theme, fire.
Jason's battle theme goes hard as fuck. I'm like, all right, like I hate you, but your battle theme is sick.
And with Levane being a dragon specialist with Mega Dragology, that is amazing.
Mega Dragology is sick as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Although, I am a little sad that Leban, I mean, I get it, Vinny is cool. I think Leban should have gotten Drampa. Gotten Drampa.
Fit her personality.
Yeah.
Doesn't fit her personality.
Yeah, no, I agree.
She is a character that is supposed to be prim and proper, but is hiding like a toxic edge to her.
Yep. Well, yeah, which is very fitting for Dragology. Oh man, but I really like Vinny. Vinny was a nice surprise because he's very much like Felipe in a sense, where like you think he's like a very scary, but he's actually just a very nice, chill guy who just wants to protect people.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you are familiar with Grandpa's Dex entries, that's Grandpa's whole thing, especially protecting the youth.
Yeah, and the funniest thing, Vinny, team of like very imposing Pokemon, then just random Baneri.
Yeah, which is very fitting because it comes right before the Drampa, so you just beat up the little baby. Now Drampa's pissed. You know what I mean? So they put a lot of thought into that shit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we didn't even mention Descent's Mega Pokemon, which is Mega Clefable.
Which I love. It's about damn time Clefable got wings.
And became part flying.
Yep. And another thing that I think is just really cool is that it does not fly actually via the wings. It actually has like a gravity bubble, and it literally controls the gravity around it, like within a certain radius, and that's how it flies.
Huh.
That's what it says in the Mega Dex.
That is too funny.
Yeah. It's not fairy magic. I thought it was just fairy magic, but no, it controls gravity. It's literally defying gravity, like Alphaba.
Nothing can bring her down, I guess.
Nope, that's exactly what I'm gonna name my. And by the way, that's exactly what I'm gonna name my Clefable when I eventually get one.
They're kind of hard to find. I can just give you a
I have a Cleffa. I have a bunch of Cleffa. I've caught a bunch of random Cleffa on roofs, but it's just friendship leveling is always a pain in the dick.
There's ways to circumvent that.
Yeah. Again, we've been going for an hour, so I guess now I said we were gonna go for an hour, and we end up going for an hour. Typical, but anyways, let's get to the big stuff. Let's talk about the man and his grunkle.
Oh my God, Lysander, he got redeemed.
I love what they did here, because up until this point, Lysander was at the very bottom of my list. I always thought Lysander was the worst Pokemon villain of all time, like dead ass. Like Archie and Maxie, even though their shit was stupid, they had their own lofty goals. Could respect that. Like, Giovanni, classic mob boss, no note.
He wanted to make that bread.
Fucking, N, best Pokemon antagonist of all time. And then Getsus, evil motherfucker. Love him.
Yeah, Lucamine to a degree, and
I think Game Lucamine is such a good villain.
Yes, absolutely.
And it shows like the darker underside tied to family and how a family can be ruined and just by like a parent being lost in their own grief, and where I think it's such an interesting thing, and it's so deep for a Pokemon game.
Yeah, Cyrus was a madman.
Cyrus was just straight up crazy, which I appreciate in a bad guy.
Yeah, and then we have Chairman Rose.
Okay, actually, you know what? Lysander, you might not be the worst Pokemon villain of all time. I completely forgot about Chairman Rose. Chairman Rose is just a worse Lysander.
Yep, because it was a problem that didn't need to be solved right away. He's a moron.
Yeah.
You can AI, Sada, and Turo were the villains of Scarlet and Violet, really.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the tricksy bastard of the past, fucking Bolo.
So good. I love him. I think he's great. But yeah, Lysander. I love what they did with Lysander. X and Y has always been like about like Norse mythology within its theming. And the fact that they fucking just turn him into Odin is amazing. Because, if you are familiar with Norse mythology, one of the forms that Odin takes is Odin Appalachia, who is a wanderer, which is why he looks like a homeless man.
Oh, yeah.
He's missing an eye, and if you look at his Pokemon team, a lot of the new additions to his team reflect his Odin-like status. He has a Noivern, a Pokemon that cannot see, and uses echolocation in order to see.
I mean, it still has eyes.
Yeah, but it can't see in the traditional sense. So I get where they're going there. For blind as a bat, Noivern makes sense. Sableye makes total sense. All about its eyes.
Garbodor, he's stinky.
He's homeless. It's his status as a vagrant, a wanderer. So like, totally makes sense. It is kind of sad that he didn't. I get it. That we had Grish later, who has the Mega Pyroar, but I still think he should have got the Mega Pyroar. I understand he originally had the Mega Gyarados, but that was only because you guys didn't put Mega Pyroar in. And why?
Yeah, it was Grishel that.
That's what I'm saying.
Mega Pyroar.
Grish did not have a Mega Pyroar. It was Grishel. Yeah, my bad.
Grish had Mega Charizard.
Yeah, which I respect. As a Zard fan, I respect. Even though I've come around more to Y than X. Even though X looks cooler, I think Y is more usable in battle.
Yeah, and but Zygarde pulled him from the brink of death. They basically said, "Did you repent now, motherfucker?
You're working for me now, bitch."
Yep. Now I've used up all my power to save your ass in the region. I have to go through all of the Pokemon world just to recoup.
Also, I love that this is also a celebration of Zygarde is the culmination of several generations.
Yes, exactly. He is Thunder. He is the World Serpent. He guards the ecosystem. He detects calamity before it happens.
Which makes a lot more sense of why the fuck he was in Alola. Yes, like the meta reason, it's totally random. They kind of forced it because they weren't gonna make a Z. But lore-wise now, it makes a lot more sense. The Ultra Beast bullshit was happening in Alola. Of course Zygarde's over there. Aliens are invading the Earth. Or, extra-dimensional beings. Technically not aliens, but...
Yeah, and then he was in Galar because a second Darkest Save that was going to be perpetrated by...
Yep, which, by the way, AZ confirms he was there for the first one.
Yep. And speaking of, the best character in this game, the big man, AZ, after 3,000 years of not being able to see Floette, lived with her 5 long years, and after the events of the final battle, fucking dies.
Yep. And like usually I don't like redemption through death, but AZ really earned it because he was very much regretful and he worked his ass off to correct his mistake. But he never makes excuses. He always he's like, no, I fucked up. It's like he didn't give a better reason. He's like, no, I did this because I was selfish, because I was lost in grief. I don't have excuses. I just did that shit and I need to make it right. Which fucking mad respect for that.
Yeah, and he did. I got emotional.
Same.
At his grave.
Same.
Big was just there. He's like, why? Why did you do that to me, you bastard? You're gonna cook it.
I wanted to exactly. You asshole. We're stuck with croissant curry for life. I thought you were gonna make something delicious. You You've traveled around the world. You could have made so many different dishes. Did you at least leave Tani new recipes? Please.
Oh, my goodness. But also, just to be real quick, Nouveau, like Team Flare Nouveau, they were an interesting set of characters. Like
I really like that because again it shows development within Lumiose, like Team Flare being outcast. We get that a little bit with Mabel, of course, which we didn't really talk about much, but I love Mabel. I think Mabel's cool.
The girl's unhinged, and I love it.
She is unhinged, and she wants to murder the mayor. She really does.
Because that mayor's an idiot, obviously.
Yeah, no, the mayor is an idiot. I think she needs to go. She needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
overall, this game is stellar. Like, its post game is fun. Everything about ZA, and I think Legends games as a whole, if they continue to do this, they should just tell these very insular, like, stories in a pocket of time that.
And again, they keep to the theme of harmony between people and Pokemon, which I think is a good theme to focus on for like we'll call it core spin-off, because it's technically a core game but also a spin-off.
Yeah, the one thing that it fits within the Pokemon timeline, we have furthest in the timeline as of this moment being Arceus that took place in old Sinnoh 800 years ago, and then we have ZA, which is like in the midpoint of at some point in the timeline that's 5 years after X and Y, and the events of like Galar has happened at some point.
I'm still hoping for an original Dragon Unova game.
And with that, I think the Legends games going forward can tell just stories of Pokemon's history, be they like modern bit of history or the past. Future, you can go with like relative modern, not like 30 years.
Not like sci-fi future.
I don't think that would work personally.
Yeah. I think they should stick to either like relatively modern with Legends games or in the past. Like I said, I want my big hope is still for an original Dragon game set in Unova, like Pokemon Legends Kyurem.
Yeah, and just telling the overall histories of regions, or telling a story within a region or a specific part of that region.
Because like another thing, I think it would be really cool to see what like a Pokemon take on the American Revolution.
That would be interesting. Like, we're technically going to be getting a Pokemon version of, well, if certain things are true, in fact, of Galar's history that takes place after the Darkest Day.
Yep.
And how the region kind of built itself up afterward.
Yeah.
And I think turning points in the history of the Pokemon world are more interesting for Legends games to tell like a good story.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like an entire region journey just to do it, you know?
And I don't think you need entire regions for Legends games. I think this focused approach that we have with Lumiose works great.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm getting at. Sure, Hisui was its own separate region. It was just an uncolonized ancient Sinnoh, which worked for the kind of story that they were telling for Arceus.
But also gameplay-wise, it made it boring and grindy. Like
that much is true, but from a story perspective, it makes the most sense. But from like gameplay,
I'm talking strictly from gameplay. Story-wise, I understand it. I'm talking strictly from gameplay and enjoyment. It was boring and grindy, which is, I think, Legends ZA kind of fixed that, because while there are grindy elements, there's always stuff to do, and it's never boring. You can always do something else, right? Like, you know, like Tony's been grinding away at the Infinite ZA Royale. I haven't touched it too much because I've been looking for colorful screws so I can get more of these goddamn canary plushies.
I just try to find them wherever I can while I'm out and about, and just do that.
I've mostly been farming for mega shards to cheese leveling up so I can evolve the Pokemon I catch, so I don't have to fucking worry about just catching the evolved form, even though I will catch an evolved form when I can, but I need to also up my catch rate, which is why I need the colorful screws. You see the loop.
Fair enough. But the one thing I can say about Legends ZA personally, since we're just slowly going into the end here, I want more Legends games that we've been talking about, a more focused narrative about the harmony between people and Pokemon, and it doesn't have to be too expansive. You don't have to explore an entire region.
Just innovate the mechanics. That's all you need to do, is innovate the mechanics. So we didn't even talk about this at all, which I think deserves its own section. The battle system. I love what they've done with the battle system. Is it more difficult? Yes, but I think
like
that's what makes it fun.
I love the challenge, and plus we don't have the Swift Strike or Heavy Strike moves anymore. We have which works as a spiritual successor to that mechanic from Arceus.
Yep, and I also love that we no longer have PP. It's down to cooldowns, which also opens up a new element of strategy of, like, you know, when you design your loadout, you honestly have to more prioritize cooldown timings more so than power. You know, sometimes keeping around that 60 power move is more worth it because you'll have more more access to a faster stab move that you can use to finish something off, right? And stuff that you wouldn't normally use before, like moves like Rock Blast or even like hazard moves that you'd only use for setup, are so much more useful in this type of battle setting, and it makes the battle system much more dynamic and also way faster, which I appreciate. And it feels more authentic to Pokemon. Like, this is how I've always imagined Pokemon battles actually going.
Absolutely. And just activating Mega Evolution with a charge that comes in, perfection.
I thought that was awesome because that means you don't have to choose a Pokemon, right? One of the cores to building your team in X and Y is like, all right, which Pokemon do I want to be my Mega Pokemon? It's like, nah, everybody gets to be a Mega Pokemon.
Be that using a puff move or just you holding on to that Mega Sim, motherfucker.
Yep. No, I've purposely built a team of all mega evolvable Pokemon just because, and it's been fun. Before we wrap up, let's talk some of our favorite Megas. Personally, for me, my favorites are out of the ones I've used so far, Mega Excadrill is amazing. Mega Victreebel has saved my ass. I love Mega Victreebel. Mega Frostlash, also amazing. Some of my favorite Rogue Mega battles. I love the T-Tar battle. I thought the T-Tar battle was fun. That was probably the easiest one for me, actually, because boy of the Heracross hard counter, easy claps.
My personal favorite is the Mega Halucha fight.
Oh, the Mega Halucha fight was a lot of fun. You want to talk about the most stressful fight? The most stressful fight was the goddamn Mega Dragonair or Dragonite, because of the tornado bullshit. All the tornado bullshit and those hyper beams, man.
That's crazy. Then, for my personal favorite, and I have to say this because I've been rocking with this guy since Gold and Silver. Well, Crystal, technically. My Gator, my buddy.
Oh yeah.
My daddy.
Man, yeah, Krogonal, man. Krogonal is the shit. It's funny. I have a penchant for fire starters, right? But I remember getting gold and silver, and I did my first playthrough with Cyndaquil, and then usually the next one I do after Cyndaquil would have been grass, but I was like, no, Meganium sucks. I'll go with Totodile. I've fell in love with Totodile ever since.
I love this gator. I love this entire land. Then Mega Feraligatr. People say that it's dumb, but I love it.
I think it's awesome. It's also a reference to real gators because gators keep their young in their mouth.
Yeah, and plus his fin, like his hood.
That's what I'm saying. Gators keeping their young in their mouth. So the hood flap, like, being reminiscent of its quote unquote child form. Nice little reference there. The only loser out of the starters, I will continue to say, I'm sorry, Meganium. You just not it. There are people that love you. I'm not one of them.
At least you get fairy type.
You do get the fairy type. Although you get fairy type in the game where Mega Gardevoir exists. So you shit out of luck.
Yeah, that is true. And also you have other competition when it comes to like
Mega fairy types. Yeah, because Clefable.
Mega Clefable.
Mega Mawile. Mega Mawile is one of my absolute favorites. Mega Frostlass.
Oh no, Mega Frostlass is
it's still just Ice Ghost. Oh yeah, it just knows Draining Kiss. Never mind. Yeah.
Mega Altaria becomes Dragon Fairy.
Yep. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, Meganium. You still lose. You still lose. I'm never actively choosing a Meganium. I'm gonna get one for completion's sake.
Well, that's what I did.
But like, I'm not gonna actively use it. It's just gonna stay just collecting dust in the box.
Oh, absolutely. That's just what we do.
But yeah, so we've been going on for over an hour, but like I feel like we didn't really faff about too much. Honestly, this doesn't really need to be cut up too much. We'll just keep it raw as is, because I feel like everything we said here needed to be said. So final thoughts and ratings. I already know what Tony's rating is, because Tony already gave his rating during screen time. I'm gonna go slightly lower. I'm giving it an 8.5. The only reason I'm not giving it a 9 is because there is still a lot that can be improved. I think Pokemon needs voice acting. I'm gonna stick hard and fast to that. Like, that is super immersion breaking, especially with the story being this good. The fact that like it's just areas of dead silence, even if the music does slap, like it really does break the immersion of the game, and like it does a disservice to your story. That sucks. The traversal is ass. Like, yeah, you can tap B to run. That's cool. I like that. Where are my roller skates? We're in Kalos. Also, the Legend games, I understand we're not in expansive Hisui anymore, right? So we don't need like a bunch of ride Pokemon. Why the fuck can't we ride Go-Goat though? Where's that? That was a whole thing. And yes, I understand they gave an explanation in game that the Go-Goats are more skittish now because they're around more people in the urban redevelopment. Okay, but you already have Go-Goats that were trained to give people rides in the city. So where are those guys?
What, are they on permanent vacay?
Like, nah, like you guys cut corners there, and I'm not gonna let that one slide. Your traversal sucks, which is weird because Legend Arceus had such a great traversal. There, you took a bunch of steps forward, but this is definitely a step back. I think your traversal sucks. I did shit on the platforming before, but now I really like it. I actually enjoy the construction puzzles. Those are actually kind of fun. So I rescind that critique. I think I enjoy those. I just had to get good. Like it is actually fun to try and figure out the challenge of how to get the screw. So I'm not gonna make that a complaint. But I think traversal sucks, and I think Pokemon does need voice act. And to get those two complaints bring it down from the 9 I would have given it to an 8.5.
Okay, that's fair.
But overall, I think the game is a lot of fun. It's nowhere near perfect, but it's a blast. There's a lot from a story standpoint that I think is very, very strong. There's a lot of love, care, and detail that's put into like every little bit of world building in this game, and I enjoy the fuck out of that. And also something that blew my fucking mind is looking at the credits and seeing the name Hideo Kojima.
Yeah, which is crazy.
The fuck is Hideo Kojima doing working on Pokemon Legends ZA? I mean, you do get to sneak up on people and jump them. So I guess sure, but that was a nice little surprise. That wasn't spoiled for me. I was just watching the credits and I was like, wait, Hideo Kojima? The fuck?
Yeah, crazy. I know.
Yeah, but yeah, so 8.5. Tony, I know you already gave your score, but for the folks who haven't seen your screen time, you want to give a little spiel and your rating?
So ZA continues on with a great story of the Legends games so far, and great stories for like relatively modern Pokemon.
No, I would say modern, because actually, yeah, Sword and Shield did not have a good story. So, but Scarlet and Violet did. So yeah, you're right.
And I love the fact that all of these different ways that you could tell a story are just done in a certain way, and having an emotional ending in this game just bumps it up to a 9. And I have nothing but respect for the Pokemon Company actually having the gall to actually kill off a character,
right?
Which is astounding. And I am looking forward to Mega Dimensions that comes out this 7th.
We will be back for another video to discuss Mega Dimensions.
Yeah,
but that one won't be an hour because it's only DLC.
Yeah, and we'll mostly talk about the new character who makes us donuts. We'll make Koopa donuts to help us out, and the fact that Karina is going to be doing some crazy nonsense in this DLC.
Give us roller skates, damn it! She gave us roller skates the first time.
I know, man.
Listen, you will get your 0.5 back. You'll get your 0.5 back, Legend, if you give me the skates.
Give the skates.
I want to improve traversal. I need more than just a weak-ass double jump. Come on, man.
And overall, we love this game, and also we may not be game developers. We don't know what goes into actually making a 3D game in general. I love Pokemon for its story, its characters, its music, and of course the colorful creatures that make up the world of Pokemon. Do I need a whole hell of a lot for a good Pokemon game? Yeah, voice acting would be nice, and some graphics should be good. I don't want real life.
I do think voice acting is a non-negotiable. That needs to happen.
Yeah, we agree on that. But I don't need realistic graphics on Pokemon. I don't need that. Do I need to see every hair follicle on Pokemon with fur? No. Do I need to see every hair follicle on a human character? No. Do I want to hear their voice? Yes. Do I want a beautifully made region? Absolutely. I can take what I can get, but I'm not settling for the bare minimum. This isn't, when we say, and Jay and I have talked about this countless times, we are not settling. We're when it comes to a lot of Pokemon fans, we can have our criticisms, but we can still love the franchise. We can demand more, but if what we get is actually a beautifully done story with some graphical hiccups here and there, I have complaints. There are no complaints to be had.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like graphics aren't as big a priority as long as the game runs well. The problem I had with Scarlet Violet was that it ran like shit, and you know, we that problem was fixed in ZA. It runs very, very well, especially on the Switch too. Like load times are non-existent. Like it's great,
and it runs amazing on the Switch One too. I mean, there may be some hiccups here and there for some folks, but I'm
actually surprised that the Switch One did not shit the bed during the climax, which we didn't really talk about too much. But man, that is probably the greatest climax a main series Pokemon game has ever had.
Oh, absolutely, and it ran amazing.
Like that shit was anime as fuck, and I loved it.
You fight Audrey too.
You fight Audrey too, and you get to use like a new version of Ultra Necrozma's move, which, you know, like Zygarde just learned bar for bar by observing what happened in the Alola region.
Yeah, he looked at that and like,
he just ooh, I like that big. I like that big beam. I'm gonna use.
No, he was thinking that big beam caused a lot of trouble. I'm gonna put that in my repertoire so I can use it to protect the ecosystem.
Turn myself into a Digimon. Put a big ass fucking cannon on my back.
Only when I make it evolve, though. Only when I make it evolve.
Yep.
But folks just keep asking for far too much sometimes.
Yeah, I'm like, again, I understand wanting more, but like, you gotta be realistic, and you gotta understand, like, you know, as much as we love the games aren't like the tippy top priority of the franchise. Like, we're getting so much good shit in terms of the anime right now. Like, we are eating good in terms of the anime. Like,
yeah, we can't. Okay, so I can give this as the best analogy that I can. It's like when Oliver Twist is asking for more, like asking for seconds. We are Oliver in this. Like, as Pokemon fans, we are Oliver. When we ask for seconds, we are just kind of stuck in a situation where we love these games so much that we want them to just be comparable to other consoles. That's just not going to be the case always, you know?
Yeah.
And I like to think that Pokemon has its style.
Yeah, exactly. And you also have, and the thing is with like fans, you also should acknowledge like the innovations that do happen. Like, you know what I mean? Like the battle system, very, very innovative and a big swing. And I think they really landed here. Like, yes, some of the backgrounds are a little lackluster, but like, look at some of the other stuff, the character detail, the design, the overall designs, the, like, you know, how the Pokemon themselves look. Like, yeah, some of the city looks kind of bland, sure, but look at the Pokemon. You see how good the Pokemon look? The game isn't called Lumio City.
The people look good.
Exactly.
Come on.
The people and the Pokemon look good. But yeah, the city looks bland in some part, and it does suck that we cannot enter interiors in the city when, you know, you used to be able to enter all Pokemon buildings because, you know, nobody believes in breaking and entering in this universe, I guess.
I like to think, personally for me, that they kind of have it to where it makes sense for someone to enter a building, you know?
I mean, like, even the stores, I think it makes sense for modern innovation. If you look at how stores operate now, it's a lot more kiosk-based with, like, iPads and shit, so, like, that makes a lot of sense. But, again, that's getting lost in the weeds. But, yeah, those are our overall thoughts. I think we enjoyed the game a lot. This was a super long, basically podcast-length episode. I said it wasn't going to be, and here it is. But, honestly, Tony's not even going to really edit this down, so, like, enjoy. I hope you guys had fun with us, and let us know your thoughts about Pokemon Legends ZA, positive and negative, in the comments below. If you disagree with us, totally cool, but let us know in the comments. Let's have a simple conversation about it. We don't need to scream and yell at each other. Like, we can disagree. It's fine.
Yeah, and I want to have more discussion discussion, because just going on bandwagons is not going to help the Pokemon community as a whole.
And also, just because you like the game doesn't mean you're a shill, okay? You can like what you like.
Absolutely, man. Like,
it's fine.
I love it personally because the way that it told. There's some aspects of it that I find annoying. I think the scaffolding just annoys me because platforming can cause some issues.
Oh, same.
At least for myself.
Same. I mean, I eventually got used to it. I think that still kind of just falls into the traversal issue. I think traversal sucks in this game. It's the worst traversal that's ever been.
But the coolest thing that I like to say is that we get following Pokemon.
I've always loved that. That's still my favorite feature of Pokemon.
I look at a dog, this poodle, this furfro that I have, Miss Augustine. She's just walking around in her nice fit.
Yep. Nah. I enjoy just walking around my Gardevoir. Nothing weird going on here. Just a man in his Gardevoir. Get your head out of the gutter, people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what me and my Gardevoir get up to is none of your business. And what we get up to is Pokemon battling. All right, that's what we get up to. None of your weird shit.
You degenerates.
But anyway, on that happy note, we will catch you guys next time when we enter the Mega Dimension. Until then, we'll catch you later. Peace.